The stats are saying that it is apparently more attractive to be single than in a relationship.
I could speak on this when it comes to my daughter, but she just turned 19 yesterday. And she was telling me that like all her friends and like everybody in the school, like they're not big on relationships. They're not big on, partnerships because they're all focused on themselves, like building themselves and, going to college and focusing on their careers and focusing on what they feel, what they want, hanging out with friends. So I do see like the younger generation kind of leaning on to that side
because they see so many miserable adults.
I think it's because they're self-centered.
I think they don't see a reality. They don't see. It's kind of like, I don't want nobody giving me advice if I don't see a life that I value.
Yeah.
If I don't look at you and I say that's the life I want, then I'm not gonna take the steps that you take. So if they're going home and they're looking at their parents or they're looking at their older siblings or whatever, live a certain lifestyle where they're in relationships, they're fighting, they're going through this and going through that. I think people make decisions based off of the things that they see.
Wait a minute.
I'm not saying that's all the cases.
I'm not saying that's all the cases, but I'm saying
my sister's 19.
At what point in life didn't kids see their parents fight?
Yeah, but
right?
we've been talking about this the whole time. There's now social media, so now they see other avenues.
I think it's just
they're definitely raised heavy on social media.
Yeah, social media is
but
heavy.
I think it's just about being self-centered. I do believe that.
But who's teaching them that? Because I'm not teaching my daughter that.
No, I'm gonna explain it to you, right? To be young is to be selfish, and to mature is to sacrifice. And let's be honest, most of these kids are not fully maturing.
I don't think they're gonna mature to this at any point.
But this is what I'm saying, right? I take it back to what I said earlier. When we were younger, we understood that to be an adult was to work more, was to have more responsibility, and was to have less fun. But let's be honest. And yes, I will take a page out of your book. When these kids look at social media, the 40, 50-year-old men are in the club popping bottles 7 days a week. So the truth is, these young boys, their idea of maturity is to now have the means to have fun 7 days a week. But Gen Z is also the first generation in a long time that their IQ is lower than their parents.
And they feel like what they're doing is the best thing. Because my daughter was talking about it like, yeah, I think for myself. We're happy that we think for ourselves, and we don't follow anybody, and we do what we want. And I'm just like,
it's
what?
Progressive world.
Right, we did.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because I'll tell you the difference between us and them, right? We still had a thirst for knowledge of things that were outside of our realm. Gen Z does not have any desire to learn anything that doesn't have anything to do with them or their era. It's the truth. You can ask them.
I can see that. My family.
I'm not trying to combat that. I'm just saying maybe with different, because for example, my sister, you have your daughter does music. Her music is amazing. Like she seems very intelligent. Like
she's very talented.
My sister is always exploring. My sister reads more than I ever did in my life. My sister is always curious about anything. Like it's crazy to me how more thirsty
like she wants to learn
is outside. Like they're trying to do things that we didn't have access to a lot of things. So now they're trying to do camera equipment. They're trying to become things that we never thought we could even become. We thought we was just gonna go to school, get a little degree, maybe play a little sport. But now they're trying to do a plethora of things that we never even imagined doing. So I feel as though their thirst for knowledge is coming from, again, I hate to keep saying this word, but social media. They're seeing a bunch of people trying new things, doing new things, becoming successful in many different categories. And it's making them be like, I'm going to get my life together. And I'm going to be, like, I remember I used to say I was going to be a millionaire by the time I was 30. Didn't happen. But I feel as though a lot of younger people have that opportunity more than we did, because they have all of this knowledge that we didn't, all of this information that we didn't have.
This is also the generation where you can't send someone a paragraph or you can't comment a paragraph
because they won't read it.
I'm not reading.
They don't have the attention
span. They don't read. The truth is,
that's a fact.
They don't have the attention and they don't read. That is the honest to God truth. This is the microwave era. Yes, they all want to be rich,
and they all abbreviate everything.
Rap, social media.
They abbreviate everything. All the text is abbreviations. All the text is abbreviations. Both my daughters do it, and I'd be like, "What does this even mean?" Like,
I'm so glad that I actually am a great. I'm a great big sister.
Yeah. No, be proud of your sister.
Because my sister has been under my wing forever. And she always says to me, like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But even when she's in her relationships, yeah, I'm that girl. So even when she's in her relationships, my sister is always very emotional. She's a Pisces like you. Like
Pisces.
And I'm not even supposed to say that. Lord forgive me. But she's a very emotional feeling individual. And I thought that's what I thought that's what the youth was. Like my sister made me feel the complete opposite of what
She's just a
experienced.
Pisces.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But like I don't know. I didn't get that from her. I just saw someone who like.
Do you think any of that, any of your influence is affecting your daughter? Meaning, like, I'm sure you told your daughter not to have children young, right?
Yes. Which
So-
she's 19, so she hasn't had a baby yet.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so
that's an
she
accomplishment.
understands.
For sure. I had my daughter when I was 16, so
My daughter's
She's taking that
22, no
completely
kids, too.
off the
Thank the
off the
Lord.
like radar. So
Absolutely.
we're not.
Yeah.
We know that boys create that.
Parents, yeah.
yeah.
So let's experience everything first and like live our life.
Yes,
first.
for sure. So I'm not knocking it, right? Because it is my child and I want her to not be boy crazy or not fall into that like I did, at such a young age. Because since I was like 12, I was boy crazy and I was always like in a relationship. So I appreciate that she's the complete opposite of me. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, like, is that going to continue to even when she gets older? Like, because she's really like, she's told me, like, I'm not sure if I ever want to have kids, like, and I'm like, what? Wait, hold up. Like, hold up, wait. No, I want grandbabies.
But you know what? But you know
to have kids.
But in her case,
And she's like, Mom,
if
you
it-
did
what
a
if
lot by
it's-
yourself. I seen how expensive
But
it
in
is to
her
have
case-
kids. Like,
in her case, what if it isn't about it being the new normal? What if that's just her?
Sure. Mhm.
yeah.
Or there might be smarter.
My
Yeah,
daughter's
some people-
my daughter's
there are
22.
people
She
are
doesn't
allowed
have
to
any
do
children, thank the Lord. I think she wants kids. I think eventually. But look,
Again,
I think it's very important for us to communicate with our children, right?
Yes.
And I think there doesn't need to be a reason, right? I'll give you a perfect example. So when me and my daughter's mother broke up, my daughter saw me in one relationship up until she was 9, right? And when me and this young lady broke up, my daughter cried, right? And I took the time to sit my daughter down and I was like, hey, I need to speak to you, right? And I said, look, I understand that you saw me and your mother get together. You watched us break up. You saw me and this young lady get together, and now you're watching us break up. I need you to understand that this isn't normal. This isn't what it's supposed to be, right? You're supposed to meet someone, fall in love, get married, and spend the rest of your life together. I don't want you to watch my life and to
And follow
think
it.
that this is what it's supposed to be. This is just what's happening by circumstance.
Facts.
But this isn't what you should be striving for. This isn't what you should think is normal, right? And I think a lot of times we're not aware enough to take the time to realize our kids are always watching us.
They are.
They are
These kids are sponges,
always-
but don't you think that that's like a little bit of a fairy tale?
Yeah,
No.
it is.
No, it's not because on the same hand, you have to understand that I give my daughter the balance of it all, right? Just like I tell my daughter, I say, hey, I need you to understand that I don't want to set you up for failure, right? I don't want you to go out into the world thinking every man is going to be like me. I always have your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
The truth is, most men may not have your best interest at heart, right? So you need to guard yourself. But when you do run into the man that does love you the way that I do, I need you to respect and love him the way you love and
Can I
respect
say
me.
something? But that always isn't a smooth sailing experience as well. I
Okay.
mean, anytime you ask someone who's married, like it's not just find someone you love, get married, live happily ever after.
But my
Two.
thing is this: just because
Two,
That's
not
just,
two.
just
That's
because
Two people.
just because the world is going crazy, does that mean I need to start calling crazy sane?
No, but it's just the fact that
But like that's my
life happens.
But that's my question. Yes, the world is changing, but when that change isn't for the better, you don't have to change with it. I am going to be the way that I am until the day I die. I don't care how the world changes because I know what's right, and I know. And let me not use right and wrong. Let me not use right. I know what
Is right for
I know.
you.
I know what my belief system is. Let's just leave it that way. It's not about right and wrong.
Yeah, because everybody has different beliefs.
It's not about right and wrong, but but I think a lot of times we're creating the environment that isn't conducive to the goal, and then saying that the goal just is never going to happen when we are creating the environment that isn't conducive for it to thrive.
But how
That's
difficult
true.
is it to be For example, you give this advice to your child, but how difficult was it to even be that for yourself?
That's life.
That's what I just said.
And this is
it's
and
not even reality.
no, it
because
is
the
no,
majority of us
it is
don't even
reality.
know.
Yeah, but
It
you
is
you naturally
reality.
always
It
want
is-
better
and
for
this
your
is-
child.
and this is
Absolutely.
and-
But you can't make them like it's kind of like feeling like a failure when you don't
but see,
when you don't make that happen for yourself. Sometimes it's like a lot of people think that they're going to have a successful career if they get their degree, or if they're gonna be married by a certain time, or they're gonna have certain kids, and then guess what? You need in vitro.
Can I-
You
Let
me
can't
just
have
say
that.
one thing. Let me just say one
There's
thing.
always something in life.
But-
It's just not.
but my
normal.
question- but my
life
question-
be lifing.
But
That's the
but
normal
that's
of
my
it.
question.
There's
What
nobody
is
any
what
of
is
us know.
what is with the people of today of always wanting to skip the hard part?
No, I didn't say
yes,
that.
yes, because guess what? Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's not going to come easy.
It's gonna be
yes,
work.
in order to get love and to end up with someone for the rest of your life. Yes, there's going to be a million ups and
So then we
downs.
have a
Yes, there's going to be
misunderstanding.
struggles.
We have a
But
misunderstanding.
that's life.
I know,
think-
but I'm having a misunderstanding.
So what it is there's a saying that life humbles men
Mhm.
and time humbles women.
Woo.
So as men,
humble me.
we were humbled from the
Mm.
gate. As men, we were humbled from the gate, and we never had the opportunity to be like the top 1% demanding $50,000. Like that was never. I'm not talking shit. I'm not.
Yo, I hate
I'm not.
you.
I'm telling you the
Clearly
truth.
are.
He's like, I can't
was
demand
never
it. I can't tell Shorty she gotta do that for
That's
me.
just her.
I had
Just
some,
don't
I had
try
some
to date
sugar
her.
mamas
That's
and
it.
whatnot,
Go
but
ahead.
it was never 45, 50K. If I could get back out there and get that,
That's
that'd be
her.
great. Yes.
What was your number?
What was your number, bro?
I'm curious. What was your number? 10, low 10K? Low 10K a month?
Not even.
Low
Month?
10K?
Stop it.
Tell Rome wasn't built
We
in a
talk,
day.
you know.
Come on, y'all. Let's really keep
That's
it
so
above.
funny.
A lot of people are not even making. Let's
So
be honest.
what you're saying is like we are like born with
hate
that.
you.
Like we're born with this. Like listen, we know it's going to be a survival. It's going to be a struggle. There was never like, hey, I'm going to come in the world. I'm going to take my shirt off and I'm going to show my breast. And it was never that. You know what I mean? Even with my thirst traps, like I got to hustle for my thirst traps.
Yo, I hate you.